Natasha here, and around my home today I am in my living room. We are back for week number 14 out of the Beautifully Organized in 52 Weeks card deck by Nikki Boyd. I've been working hard on my living room this week, and today we're going to talk about the coffee table specifically in your living room. So stay tuned for that, and welcome to my living room. Welcome back to my home. If you're just joining me, you'll have to click back and watch last week's video. I talked a little bit about the process we were working on last week, which was to declutter our living room and kind of get it back to a clean slate and how things normally are stored. So I've been working hard on that, and I got things back to where they typically are stored, plus I've added a little bit of extra organization, and I have some more decluttering to do once my daughter's home from school. So today, for week 14, we are going to be talking about just the coffee table in your living room specifically. So the card from the card deck today talks a little bit more in detail about decorative items you can keep on your coffee table, plus some functional things like coasters for drinks or your remote controls, things like that. And for our coffee table, we like to keep most things tucked in the drawer. The coffee table just has a simple drawer. So inside that drawer, I keep the 3 different remotes that we have and a collection of coasters, which sometimes get used, sometimes don't. And these items often don't get returned to the drawer, but at least when I'm wanting to quickly clean up and tidy up, I know everything just goes back in that drawer and I can get the coffee table back to a pretty clean slate. And other than that, the only thing I keep on top of our coffee table is a box of tissues, because we are a family of allergy sufferers, and especially this time of year, you just need a box of tissues in every room, at least for me. So that stays there, and I don't keep any other decorative items out like coffee table books or magazines or anything, because this is truly our living room. So my daughter ends up playing in here a lot and creating things, and so any flat surface tends to collect things already, and so it just makes it easier for me if I don't have to look at the table and determine what's a decorative item that stays and what's a project or a toy that needs to get put back. If I just know the only thing left on there at the end should be the box of tissues, it makes it a little easier to clean up. So your challenge for the week is to work on decluttering and beautifying your coffee table. Maybe think a little bit more about storage options for some of the things you do like to keep either on your coffee table or near your coffee table. And of course, you can always go to Pinterest for lots of beautiful ideas and ways to get inspiration on how to decorate your coffee table. In our formal entertaining space, the front room of the house, I do have another coffee table there. Right now I'm just keeping a stack of a few magazines and some history books and family photo albums there. So that one I don't have decorated all that much, but to me it's simple and easy to clean up, as I mentioned before. So don't forget to use your timer when you're working on these projects. And now I need to head off and run a couple of quick errands so that I can be back in time for my daughter to get off of school. So now that we've finished week 15 of the Beautifully Organized in 52 Weeks card deck, I'm going to tuck that card to the back, and then we will be ready for next week, week 16, and we'll be working once again in our living room, but we'll be working on the entertainment center in your home. So there you go. That is this week's video. Thanks for joining me. I'd love to hear your progress down below in the comments section. Let me know if you're following along and if you managed to do some decluttering in your living room this week, and what ideas you have for making your coffee table look a little nicer this week going forward. Don't forget to come back on Sunday for a planning video. I'm crossing my fingers that my Jane's Agenda May subscription box will arrive on Saturday, and then I'll be able to film it and get it up for you right away on Sunday. And then Tuesday, of course, I'm back with my Tiny Tidy Tuesday video where I'm working on another box from the basement. Thanks for joining me. Have a good one, and I'll look forward to seeing you next time. Bye. I didn't want to leave without sharing some good cleaning motivation, which I promised you last week. So it took a little while, but it felt really good to get into my living room and really get it purged and reorganized much better. It's been far too long since I've done this, and I had been really wanting it done, but I just didn't set aside the time to do it. So it took me about an hour, but it was great to have some new bins, which I think are going to work a little bit better. Plus they were on clearance at my local grocery store, and also just to get some things out of there that we are no longer using. So I'd love to hear in the comments down below if you got some good decluttering done in your living room this week as well. So after working for about an hour, the sofa is back in better shape. It's still a tired old sofa, but it looks a little bit more put together. And I did rotate my daughter's little play kitchen to the side, so that gave us a little more room for the chair to get moved back. And this whole pile, pay no attention to, because basically these are all empty bins that'll either get donated or put down, like the baskets. If they're still in good shape, I'll just put them down with my baskets in the basement. But now you can see the bookshelf looks to be a little more organized, and I'll go through the bins with my daughter and just let her know what's there and where things are stored. I obviously still need to sweep, but I've got her toys kind of all set up more on this corner. And of course she does still have some dolls and mini stuff set up over here, which is fine. We might go through that too. Basically, a lot of these bins I could go through with her and see if there's stuff we want to purge. And she has some clay projects up on top of the bookshelf that are drying. That's fine with me. She's being creative. So down here, now this is stuff that I think we're gonna keep. I wanna go over it with my daughter and see if there's a better place we wanna store it, or if she does wanna store it in the living room, then we need to kind of rework some of the baskets. This is stuff I think we can donate to a local Montessori preschool, so I'm gonna check with them. And then, like I said, these are all the baskets and bins that I'm gonna put down in the basement, either to be used elsewhere or just donated if I decide I really don't need them and I can get rid of them. But definitely looking much better. There's a lot more floor space. I know for sure there's one bin that's baby dolls that she may not want in the living room anymore, because most of her baby doll stuff is in her bedroom. So there's some work to go through all that with her, but it feels really good to know we're kind of back to a good clean slate and just a basic system for organization. And then she can play and make messes, and hopefully, I'm hoping that these open bins will be a little bit easier for her to put things away versus the totes all had lids, and then the lids became another thing that was tossed around the room and not put back on and all that. And the only other thing that I want to talk to her about is this is all of her supplies to do her clay work and sculpting, and I am fine keeping them in here, but I feel like it'd be nicer to get them back on the bookshelf. I just don't know what bin to get rid of, if there's something she doesn't want anymore stored up here. So we'll talk about that. But overall, it's much better. So the last thing I'm gonna do is just move all these down to the basement so we can find a coffee table back.